And we're live. Welcome to the 2K Drones live show. And I am joined by, as always, my buddy, my fella, Chuck. Plug your channel, mate.
Hey, hello, everybody. I'm Chuck, and I'm with Covaction Dronography. And Keith and I met on this really cool thing called Drone On. Maybe you guys have become members. If not, you should. But Ash over at Drone On's put us all together in this really cool group if you join up as a member, and that's how Keith and I met. And we've been causing trouble ever since. So,
and I just want to say hi to a few people in the chat. Hello, Gareth.
Yeah, I see Gareth out there. What's up, brother?
Hello.
Yes, I'm number one. I know.
Right, so hello to everyone. By all means, join in on the chat. This comment's just appeared. Good morning, Laurie. How are you? Chuck's better half.
She's hiding downstairs.
So today we're going to...
Sorry, Keith.
So we're going to talk about a couple of things today. We're going to talk about Chuck's journey into a new video editing thing and certain bits of kit that he's bought in order to help him on his journey. Then we're going to talk about the FCC cracking down and issuing fines in the States, and it's beginning to happen in other places as well. So we're going to talk a little bit around that. And then the big news of the week has been the DJI FPV drone leak. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm really excited about that. But we'll get into that in a bit.
Where's my wallet? Where's my wallet?
Yeah. We may be joined by a guest as well. I'm hoping he's got out of bed. But I'll let it go now. He's a teenager.
And a left poster teenager.
Yeah, exactly. So he might not have got out of bed yet. But anyway, I'm going to hand over to Chuck because Chuck has gone on a journey. Oh, hang on. Before we go there, just so I don't get into trouble. Hello, darling. That's my wife.
Hey, Lem, how you doing?
A couple of people from the Discord server. So we'll say, hi, Droning in Nature. How you doing, buddy? Hi, Lone Star UAV. How you doing, buddy? They're all members in the Droning On club. So if you are not a member yet, head on over there and check that out. Anyway, I'll hand over to Chuck because Chuck is on a journey.
I'm on a journey. Well, we're all on a journey. This whole drone thing's a journey. I've been coming off of Coral's Video Studio Ultimate 2020. I've been using Coral stuff since I started droning like almost 4 years ago. And it's a great program, and it's really easy to learn, and it's everything's canned in it, and it's spoon fed to you. You know, you spoon feed and you get everything done. And I've done some really great stuff with it. Well, I mean, in my mind, I've done some great stuff with it. But recently, it was time to jump to a new platform. So I was looking at. I'm a PC guy, by the way, so I can't use Final Cut. So it was kind of between. Premiere Pro and DaVinci are the two big players. So I decided to go and try out DaVinci since it's free. At least the basic program's free. But it's not free after all because it doesn't take long before you buy this thing. I know it's upside down, but this thing.
Quick question for you. Knowing your better half is watching. What was the price you told her that it cost?
Oh, $50. No,
All right,
no,
okay.
she knows. She knows. She
I just
rolled.
wanted to check.
She's used to it. There'll be a payback later, I'm sure. But yeah, she's Lori's very supportive of my addiction to this hobby. And she's been great. We've been doing a lot of fun stuff together. She wants to go out vlogging later, so we'll see if the weather cooperates. Maybe we'll get out and do some fun stuff. But
That'd be cool.
yeah, so the DaVinci thing, like 17 just rolled out, and you can download it for free on their site as beta. Beta 3 is out, and the keyboard's really cool. It's kind of chunky, it's kind of big, it's spendy. I am actually going to change over to the speed editor instead. The speed editor is basically, I don't know if you guys, again, it's going to be upside down, and I got to like look through my keyboard kind of, but this stuff on the wheel and the controls, and then skip the QWERTY, and then over here, those things are all on the speed editor. So it's a lot more compact for travel, which will be nice because it can actually, it'll be one more thing of piece of kit to pack with me when I go on vacation, which will make less room for underwear like we talked about last time. So anyway, the wheel makes it really easy to edit, and DaVinci's been kind of difficult because of the nodes thing. I think you guys in Final Cut and Premiere use layers, correct?
Yeah, I'm a Final Cut man, and one of the guys in the chat, Gaff, he is I'm going to blow smoke up his ass, but and it'll make his ego huge, but never mind. He is a very talented video editor, and a lot of the stuff that I've done here, I've kind of stolen from him. But we had a conversation a while back, and I said I'm going to try out Premiere. I lasted about 20 minutes and came back to Final Cut because Final Cut works very differently to DaVinci. DaVinci has a very conventional, what I think they call track-based timeline, where you put your clips in, but they don't stick together. So you could have a gap between them. Am I right in saying that? They don't sort of you don't just drop them in; they all stick together.
The magnetic timeline thing has been messing with my head a little bit because there are times when it acts as magnetic, and there are times when it does not act as magnetic. And depending on how you bring your clips in and how you arrange them and rearrange them, there's something going on there that I'm not smart enough to figure out yet. That's one of my hurdles. So yeah, you can do it both ways, Keith. The thing is, knowing why it works magnetically and then not is important, because when you're editing, sometimes you want to take a clip out and you want to leave that gap, and then you want to bring in a clip of the same length and bring it down and kind of fill in. And yeah, it's a little tricky. Now,
I downloaded it because you kept. I mean, Chuck and I chat quite a lot, and I kind of been following him on his journey, and he kept telling me things. So I thought, right, I'm gonna download this and have a look. And I'm not gonna lie, it takes some getting used to, but there are things in DaVinci that, coming from a Final Cut background, are quite interesting. I love how you can grab the sort of a little sort of, how do I say it, knob on each side and move it in, and that creates your fade
in and fade out
stuff, which that's awesome. And actually, the way nodes work, which is kind of like layers, once you get your head around that, I can actually see quite a lot of power in that. But I mean, I know you've been trying to create graphics in Fusion, and you've had some issues with it, haven't you?
Yeah, that was really hard, learning the node thing. It's basically a flow chart. So, and that makes it sound easy, but so the first thing I tried to do was animate my logo, because what I had built up in Corral was simple and it worked, and I couldn't just bring it in. So it forced me to start from a blank sheet of paper. And that's where Keith came in and helped me with the files, got me the images. And then I brought him in and started playing with the nodes to animate it. That was, I was going crazy trying to figure that out. But there are a lot of good people on YouTube. And that's true for all these platforms, the big ones. You can find lots of YouTube videos with guys that'll help you out. This one guy named Casey, he's really great with DaVinci. And he has just a boatload of helpful videos to do different things, and there are other guys out there too that have been really helpful.
When we both shoot in D-Log, which if you are an amateur and you're watching this, or you don't know what that is, basically on a drone or in a camera, it's called something different depending on your manufacturer. For DJI drones, it's called D-Log, and basically what that means is you shoot in a flat profile. The saturation is dialed down. Everything's flat.
Kind of like my image compared to yours, Keith, on the screen.
Yeah, but with respect, my camera. It cost me a little bit more than you.
My camera's kind of cheap.
Yeah, and it's a Sony camera. What was I going to say? But yeah, I mean, you shoot in this flat profile, and the thing that I immediately jumps out to me with DaVinci is the coloring tools in that are awesome. I mean, I played with that for a minute, and I took a clip that I'd shot, and I just chucked it in there quickly, and I like, how long would it take me to correct this, and then, you know, do the old orange and teal look, which is quite popular on YouTube at the moment. And it literally took me about 3 minutes, and I'm not blowing my own horn here. I mean, I've been coloring for a while, so I know what I'm doing, but it would have taken me about twice as long in Final Cut to do what I did in DaVinci, and that's what I'm getting. I mean, I've been Chuck. You've got frustrated a few times with it, but you do when you're learning a new program. It's the same with me when I was doing stuff in Final Cut, but I really do see a huge potential with it, and it
has a lot of bandwidth. These Final Cut and DaVinci and Premiere Pro give you it's there. You have the power there. There's bandwidth way up above my level, and so there's room to grow. And so the learning curve is well worth it, in my opinion. I mean, I'm working on a project right now that I'm going to throw out. It'll probably a year's end thing just for fun, but that's how I'm learning. I'm actually physically doing a project and putting it together for real, and that's really the best way to learn, is just to roll up your sleeves if they're not short sleeve like the shirt and get to it. That loop deck, though, we looked at. So there are a couple. I mentioned the speed editor. The speed editor is like a chopped down version of the big DaVinci keyboard, and those guys, they're sneaky. I'll tell you. I found out as I was struggling with the keyboard because the QWERTY keys, it's this kind of little wonky. DaVinci has the speed editor thing coming out, and it's the same price as the DaVinci software, the full version of the software. The catch is, it's the same price, and you pay for one and you get both. So I'm like, yeah, you're going to take my money. So I ordered up the speed editor, and then I'll have the full version of DaVinci 17, and the keyboard's going to sadly go, bye-bye. But
you see, I mean, I'd seen a device a while back, and I couldn't remember what it was. I couldn't remember the make of it, and I think it was a Kickstarter project at the time.
I'm going to share the screen. Yeah, I have.
But yeah, hit it, and it was a couple of days. And I told Chuck that I'd seen this. I can't remember what it was, and then literally I was on a bus in the middle of the jungle because I was on a tour last week, and Chuck goes, "Was it this one you'd seen?" I went, "Yes, that's it. That's the one I saw."
Is it coming up? I don't see it.
You need to hang on. Yeah, hit share screen. Hit your button. Share screen in the corner down. You people on the live stream can't see this. The big button, Chuck, that says share screen.
No, it's clicked, and I'm getting the spinny. This is very.
Oh, hang on then. I'll talk amongst yourselves for a minute while I call this up.
I broke the internet. I knew I could do it. I knew I could break the internet, man. Keith, you'll find it. LOUP.
Yeah, I'm on it.
All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, something.
No.
If I drop out of here, I'll jump right back in. There's something very strange has happened.
Here we go. So this is what he's talking about, and hopefully I can add this to the stream. There we go.
Gonna lose it.
So this is the Loop Deck CT, and they make another product which looks a bit more like a standard control board, but because this thing's got LCD and flashy buttons, immediately we've both gone like that. But the thing about Loop Deck is this thing works in Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe Lightroom. So if you use Lightroom like I do, so if you take pictures on your drone and you use your drone to especially if you shoot in RAW and things like that, Lightroom is a really, really good editor. It's probably one of the industry standards. This thing is great for making those micro adjustments and things like that. So this is what Chuck and I were talking about, and I believe that Chuck managed to drop out and he's back again.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was hard down, and remember we talked. If you guys overclock your PC, be careful. That's all I can say. Keith, it was no longer overclocked for this session, by the way. I went in and disabled all that stuff. What did I miss? What did I miss? You're showing the Loop Deck.
I was talking about I've got the Loop Decks.
Yeah.
I've got the Loop Deck CT up here, and I was saying that we like it because it's got flashy and pretty lights. But the
icons change. The icons change with the program you're using, which is just incredibly cool. And that color wheel thing is super cool. But it doesn't work with DaVinci. Yeah.
I'm currently torn between the CT and this one because I kind of like the idea of the analog dials, and I was editing some pictures yesterday from our recent trip, and I was in Lightroom and I was thinking, I was making some micro adjustments because I'd taken a picture of my wife in sort of orange light and she was against the wall, and it was a really good picture, but I wanted to adjust the white balance ever so slightly, and it's quite difficult to make those micro adjustments on a mouse, whereas you've got an analog dial. Doing that is going to be a lot easier. So I'm kind of sold on this. I think it will work great in Final Cut, but actually the thing I'm most interested about it with this at the moment is for the photo editing.
Yeah, I can see where that'd be helpful. So DaVinci has something similar for color correction, but it's not at the price point this thing is. It's significantly more.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah, this thing's a really cool device.
But I just want to go through a couple of comments before we head on to the next thing. Mate, my wife is talking to your wife. That could be dangerous.
It was bound to happen, Keith. This was about to happen. Is she on Facebook?
Yes.
Well, you can be pretty sure that right now Lori's like, I'm gonna find her on Facebook. So yeah, yep. It's all right. When this COVID thing is done, we can meet halfway around the world. Well, we're halfway around the world and we get a quarter of a way. How's that?
Yeah. Droning Nature asked, do you really need the keyboard? Are you going the pro way? Yes.
No.
And not the full keyboard. Go on, you answer it.
Yeah. Not the full keyboard. Drone Nature is correct. It's overkill. I get carried away at times. Maybe that's why I have 3 Mavic 2s. I don't know. But this isn't about redundancy. I'm not going to have 2 of these things, let alone 1. But yeah, the keyboard's for a pro, and I don't need that. The speed editor is far more useful, I think, for us. Yeah. Because that'll work in conjunction with your keyboard. It'll sit next to your keyboard. It's small. You can even bring it on vacation with you if you like to. Like I like to start editing my stuff before I get home. I can't help myself. Lori will go up and take a nap or something, and I'll have like a glass of wine and I'll be in there editing away because it's like I'm really excited to start putting my story together on vacation. That's part of my vacation fun is doing that. So yeah, the speed editor is where it's at for me. I'll get my money out of that thing. If I do become Hollywood pro, then yeah, I'll get the keyboard or maybe the big studio thing, but that's
I think though, having sort of, watching you with your keyboard and then sort of doing what I was doing yesterday, I really do see a requirement for that loop deck. I haven't made my mind up yet whether to go which route I'll go, but I definitely see the need for one of them. Let's just go through a few more comments. You might not have edited a video in 2 years, buddy, but you're still damn good. Have a look at the we used to have another channel. It's a story I'll tell another day. Called Gaming Face Punch, because it's my fault, and I'm sure Gaff will tell you in the comments. But somebody forgot to renew the domain. But have a look. The YouTube channel's still there, and there's some really well put together videos. So I maintain you're pretty damn good at what you do. According to Drone in Nature, you can turn the magnetic on and off. See, now I couldn't find the magnetic, so for me it looked more like Adobe Premiere in the fact that it was track based, whereas Final Cut is magnetic, so everything sticks together, which I'm used to, but it can be annoying at times. It can be annoying. That's
what I was saying. I've accidentally turned it on and off, and I haven't figured out where the enable disable is. So Drone Nature brought up a really good point that the speed editor is not terribly expensive, and right now they're throwing in the full version of the software. So again, it's like if you like Drone Nature, I don't know if you have the full version or not. Do you have the full version? Well, I'm sure you'll answer, but if you don't, it's a great way to get the full version of the software for free if you're paying for the editor, or if you're paying for the software, you get the editor for free. So it's kind of a win-win.
It's absolutely true.
If
I can see your thoughts behind sending the keyboard back and getting just the speed editor. I do, but I think we'll come back to your trip into video editing, because as you progress, I'll be interested to see. Because I mean, I'm sold on the coloring side of things. I just don't know if my lazy brain can transfer everything that I do in Final Cut, because I've got used to working in Final Cut. And I'm going to get this loop deck thing, and then we'll see. We'll see.
Well, there's
we'll see.
There's nothing wrong with Final Cut.
We should move on to our next story.
Oh, now, we ran over. Yeah, we ran over.
In the last couple of weeks, it would appear that the FCC is cracking down on people flying their drones irresponsibly. There's been a very high-profile guy on YouTube who received $182,000 worth of fines from the FCC. He's called Droning Philly, isn't he? Or is he Philly Drone Life? What was his name?
Philly Drone Life is the guy. He's done some stuff that's sort of sketchy. I went away from my screen for a second, but I was going to bring up his page, but I guess I won't. But yeah, so this is a reminder. It's been all over the web. And he was brought up on, well, the FAA called him out on, I forget how many instances at over $1,000 an instance or whatever, and he's not happy about it. I think that's where I hope the FAA shows him some mercy, because I mean we all make mistakes and stuff, but this is a great time to segue into the rules. Right, because as drone pilots, whether you're recreational or you're flying as Part 107, the minute you do something recreationally that delves into the 107 territory, the FAA looks at that as a 107 offense, or if you violate one of the rules of 107, and that's where this guy got caught. So I don't know if I can share my screen or not, Keith, but the recreational rules, I'm going to try. Let me share this thing. Come on. Be nice to me this time. There we go. Is it going?
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So
these are the rules for the United States, right?
Yes, for the United States. And I'm not going to be, I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but the US and Canada seem to kind of, and the UK tend to lead the way.
Yes. I actually think from what my research is that most countries are very similar. Singapore, which I think I mentioned in the last stream, has slightly different in the fact that their height is lower. It's 60 meters, which I think is about 300 feet, maybe a bit less than that.
That's 200. I think that's 200 feet because if I recall, 120 meters is 400 feet or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Or am I wrong? But yeah, we can. First, let's just touch on the rules are pretty basic in the U.S. The U.S. you stay under 400 feet in Class G airspace. If you don't know what Class G airspace is, when you pull up the DJI app and any other app, if it's not covered in a little cross hatching or red or whatever, you're good to go. That's basically open space for us as hobbyists. If you delve into airspace for an airport, whether it be Charlie, Class C Charlie, Class B Bravo, Class D Delta, those you need to get Lance approval, and we can get into that. Lance is available on a couple of different programs. You guys can ask questions if you want about this stuff.
Yeah,
but basically, we're just talking about following let's just keep it simple and follow the rules as far as what they are. So 400 feet below.
Can I just clarify? You are part 107, aren't you? You've done your 107.
I have. In March.
Right. Okay.
This year.
Because, I mean, before we just go over this, because in the UK, when you buy a drone, it forces you to do a safety test before you register it. So if you buy a DJI drone, it'll come up with these multiple choice questions. They are enabling it here, which I found out today when I was looking at some stuff, and I believe they're enabling it in the US, right? Because you found something earlier about this.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by Monkey Nut Punch. You're gonna hate me. I totally tuned you out. This is so unprofessional. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. No, I was just clarifying before we go straight into the States ones. But you found today that they're going to be launching a test in the US as well, aren't they? That when you register a drone, it'll ask you some safety questions, right?
Yes, and it's about time. We need that here in the States. I noticed it in one of it was on this page, I think. So one of the things that caught my eye though was number 8 here on the screen. Never fly over any person or moving vehicle, and that's kind of that's an adder to the hobbyist list. I'm not seen it before. I mean, you don't do it. You just one of those things you just don't do. I know I've personally come close, really close, because I tend to drift off. I'll be over the shoulder or something, and it'll give you that appearance that you're over traffic when you're not. So you can, because the cameras bring in stuff so tight, you can pull that stuff off. But not flying over people, staying under 400 feet, showing right away for any manned aircraft of any kind. We do not have the right of way, like ever. So that's a big one. So just as pilots, we need to just use your head. It's simple, right? I mean, if you don't, you're putting our hobby in jeopardy. And I don't know if anybody on here is going to be very upset if they can't photograph from the air. I know personally I'll be very upset.
We decided to cover this because, as we said, the FCC is cracking down on people. There is not a day that doesn't go by when I don't see somebody posting something on one of the Facebook groups which is blatantly breaking the law. And guys, you've got to be careful now. The FCC are coming down on you. This droning, Philly droning life. I mean, I think they should have had a cap on the fines that they gave him. I think 182,000 is ridiculous. But on the other hand, if you watch his channel, he deserves some fines. He does. He breaks the law, and there's no way around that. And it's been coming up a lot. I mean, I'll give you a quick story this week. I'm not going to give specifics because I'm still investigating this. I watch a news channel here. It's an English news channel, but it gives you all the news that's happening locally. And they used some droning footage the other day. And immediately my alarm bells went up because it was over a certain area and it was within a 3-kilometer radius of the international airport here. And this is a very busy airport. Usually, even now, it's still quite a busy airport. There's a lot of the domestic flights are up and running quite well here. Well, they were until this week when we had or are in the progress of having a mini outbreak. But when this footage was shot, it was clearly busy. And I've emailed them and they haven't responded. But I suspect that they loaded this off a stock footage website, because there's probably some of you out there watching this that know this, but you can sell your footage. If your drone footage is good and you shoot it in, most people require 4K 30 frames a second, which most drones are able to do. And you can sell it to this. But one of the things I noticed, and I did this week, I checked, and I won't give the name of the stock website, but I checked with this particular website, and the only thing they say is that you are liable for the imagery that you load up. So I'm going to write to these people, this news channel, and say, look, I'm not going to let this go until, because I'm worried that a Thai official will notice this and realize how close this is to an airport, and it's going to have an effect on our hobby. And we're not being drone police here, but we've got to protect our hobby. And there are, we did a story the other week where this tit flew his drone up to see why there were police over somewhere. Not only was he in the dark, he knew there was a helicopter around. And what happened?
I shouldn't be laughing.
His bloody drone into a helicopter.
Yeah.
And there has to be a balance here. There has to be a balance. And whereas I think this 182,000 fine is ridiculous. It's not worth bankrupting the guy and ruining his entire life. But hitting him with like a $10,000 fine is a steep enough fine to make him think.
Ouch.
But 182,000, that.
Ouch. Yeah. I don't know what to say, because some of the things I saw on YouTube, if I was the FAA, I would be less apt to show him some leeway on it. But he was pretty emotional, and of course he's emotional, right? I mean, $100 and something $1,000 fine is going to make any one of us middle class Americans very emotional. So maybe that was just it. But anybody deserves the FAA's purpose. And I know Russ of 51 Drones brought this up the other night with Ken Herron, and he was basically saying that they're educators. So they want us to understand what the laws are. If we make a mistake and they come out and contact you, it's probably going to be, they want you to understand, okay, this is what you did, and this is wrong, and this is why. And so we don't, because they want us to be safe. I don't think they want to drop the hammer on us, but it's our responsibility as pilots to do the right thing. It's like driving a car in the United States. It's not a right. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to fly a drone. It's a privilege to be able to capture these moments, and that you can't possibly capture any other way. So it's our job as pilots to do the right thing and fly safe. And it ain't that hard, honestly. I mean, I know I've been out around people on top of a mountain. I say, hey guys, I'm like going to fly my drone. So like, I'm going to avoid you guys as best I can, but be alert too. I don't, you're moving targets for me. And is that okay? Is it okay if I pop it up here? Oh yeah. That's cool. All right. So I mean, it's that kind of thing. I mean, it's like it doesn't take much. I cross paths. I'm rambling. I apologize, but I ran into a guy. My wife and I were vlogging, and I had the drone and I wanted to pop it up, and this other guy was flying his Air 2, and his wife was standing off to the side, and we talked a little bit, and she was saying how like the week before they were flying over at a state park, and I said, oh, did you know in a state park you're not allowed to fly the drone without, first you're going to need at least the 107 license. You need to talk to the ranger and get permission, and that's and possibly insurance. And so you don't want to do that, and you certainly don't want to do it again. And not to sound like a drone policeman, but seriously, I mean, you don't want to get in trouble for that. It could be a pretty hefty fine, and so be careful. And then I noticed that his Mavic Air 2. I talked over you.
No, I was going to say you've said that I don't want to be a drone policeman, but unfortunately, we kind of have to be at times, because
They just
I
don't
enjoy
know.
this.
I don't know
Yeah.
everything. I mean, nobody knows everything. We learn, and sometimes we learn from our mistakes, and that's the hardest and most well, that's the one that sticks with you, right? Like this guy in New Jersey, or a guy in Philly, he's not going to forget ever what he did. But this guy was also flying, his Air 2 was unmarked as far as I could tell. Which here in the States, I mean, the first thing you do is you somehow label the drone with your FAA registration number. That is, if the drone weighs more than half a pound.
So you have to stick stickers on it in the States, do you? Because here, and I think it's the same in the UK.
It is the same in the UK. I actually have UK markings on my drone. I took the test and everything. Yeah.
So here in Thailand, you have to take a picture of every piece of equipment. So that's the batteries, the drone itself with the serial number. And that's how they track it with you here, because they then obviously put that serial number into the database with your tracking, and you get a certificate through to say you've registered it. But the rules are pretty much the same. Don't fly over large crowds. Don't fly over motorways. Don't fly within 5-mile radius of an airport. It is slightly different in the States, where there are different heights that you can fly at. But as a rule, don't fly near an airport, obviously.
When in doubt, yeah, 5 miles out, you're good.
There are a lot of places don't let you fly at night unless you have does the Part 107 let you fly at night?
No, not without a waiver.
There are discs, but you have to seek permission.
You have to apply for permission to fly at night, and as a hobbyist, ironically, you need the proper lighting, that 3 nautical miles worth of visibility for your lighting and such. But I've never flown at night. It's not my thing, but I've seen some pretty amazing stuff out of the Mavic 2 from night with that big 1-inch sensor. Hey, we have anybody?
We're going to move on in a sec. We're going to move on in a second. No, unfortunately, our special guest, I think, may not have got out of bed.
I'm gonna give him a nudge.
Can't really
let me see if I can give him a nudge.
Can't really remember. But Droning Nature said people like Philly are an entertainer. He's funny and a great guy, but people like that are destroying the hobby, and that's not okay. I think he's pretty damn irresponsible with the drone. I didn't know anything about him until it was brought up on our Discord server this week. But I do feel that he has been overfined for something. I think a $10,000 to $15,000 to even a $20,000 fine was enough to drive the point home. Stop being a tit with your drone. But yeah, and I also, Lone Star UAV said there was some history with that guy in the FAA. Yes, there was. We won't go into it, but I just want to say hi to a couple of other people. Hi, that Carl Smith. How you doing, buddy?
Carl.
Carl, I have a funny story for you, because I don't know if you were watching when I was mentioning this stuff about this Thai news agency, but I needed to check a rule, because I was pretty sure that you can't. It's been a while since I made my video about registration in a drone, and I've always taken it that you don't fly over crowds or anything. But I just wanted to check that was an official rule in Thailand. So I Googled Thai drone rules, and your blog came up like number 3 on the list. I thought, oh, I know this guy. And I was going, oh, he's got some videos. Oh, I can watch one of those videos. My bloody video was the first one on the list.
That's awesome.
Like, well, that's not going to help me.
Carl's a good man. Look at that. See, getting some free
advertising. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. It did make me giggle.
There was something.
Hi, buddy.
There's something else. They were talking about the other night. Somebody has assembled all the different countries and their websites with the rules. Yeah. And darn it all, do you remember who it was? I can't remember who it was.
No, but I know I've got it somewhere. But
I still think it's well, if they're just links to the websites, it's all good, because those are going to update accordingly. Then you always have the current stuff. But it's kind of cool, because it can be tricky to find some of them. Like Canada's easy. US, you have to be careful, actually. Now that we bring this up, if you haven't registered your drone and you're going to, you go to the FAA drone zone. Don't fall for the other sites. It should be $5 US to register as a hobby.
Yes.
if somebody tries to charge you more than $5, they're taking your money for no good reason. So be careful.
It's a bit more expensive in the UK. I think it's about 15 quid, but I've never had to register a drone there yet. I will be. I will be.
I did for nothing.
Just want to say hi to our brother in arms, Mike. Hello, mate. Hope your morning flight is going. Mike's out filming this morning. I hope the light's good, mate, and you're getting some good shots. Gareth pointed out a good point here. He said, worry when they let commercial entities start using drones, Amazon, etc. More restrictions and even more rules. I have a feeling he's correct. But,
I'm afraid we're going to get squeezed a little bit as hobbyists. I have concerns as Amazon builds their warehouse not far from my house.
I do as well.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos has a lot of power.
But we were waiting for our special guest, but I don't think he is. I think he's in bed. Bless him. We'll get you on at some point. But anyway,
is Mike out in the field? By the way, let's talk about Mike. Okay.
Mike, are you out in the field, buddy, or are you back at your computer? Because if you're back at your computer, jump in. You can come and talk about this. Oh, hang on. All hail the king.
Wow.
Wow. Hi Ash, how you doing, buddy?
Hey Ash. This is all your fault, man.
Yeah, we blame you entirely.
It's all your fault. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hang on. Mike, do you want to jump in? Jump in, come and join us.
Join us for the last topic, brother.
Yes, we'll talk about this because this week there has been a leak that looks pretty damn real, so much so that most of us are thinking it's real, and that is that DJI are working on a proper FPV drone. And they released this video a couple of weeks ago, which they just tweeted this and called it Pit Stop. And I think somewhere they asked the question, is this shot on a drone or is this shot on a gimbal?
There is no way that is like a pocket or a, Osmo.
Hang on. We're gonna bring in a buddy from the Droning On Discord server. Our very first stream was all together with Ash, so we're gonna bring him in. Hello, Mike. How you doing, mate?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
We're all good. We're all good. How was your flight this morning? Can you hear us?
He could for a second.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. How was your flight this morning? Did you manage to?
Cold. My fingers are hurting.
Got any footage to share? Anything good? Or we have to wait?
Boy, I am getting a lot of feedback.
You gonna tease us?
Have you got the live stream open?
Yeah, I just on YouTube. Yeah, I just
want to make people dizzy with this. I'm gonna stop the.
Because I had that same problem. I had that same problem when I started the stream, and I thought, "Oh, I've got it running. That's why I'm getting feedback."
Yeah, it was a cold one this morning, man. My fingers are still trying to get some blood flowing to them.
I won't complain about being cold the other day, though. But and that was it was 12 degrees. But I keep people was like going, "Oh, it's -2 here." It's like, yeah, but I haven't been home in 3 years. Right? I haven't experienced winter in 3 years. I've been used to 35-degree weather. To go from 35 to 12, it was crazy.
Celsius.
Yeah,
Celsius.
All right, whatever.
Well, no, I feel you because just
yeah, I finally got this in the mail.
Nice. I'm wearing my own. This is Ash's fault.
Oh, there's yours. You got yours on. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, did you get your wife the leggings?
Yeah, I can't say. The leggings came out really good, I think. But
that's funny.
I think they look pretty good. because you can custom. Ash used the same exact. It was a Teespring, I think it is.
Right.
Yeah, you can custom bring everything in. You bring in your PNG files, and I had a blast putting some of this stuff together, just being a fashion creator now. I didn't think I'd go from video to fashion, but hey, you never know.
Wished I had those leggings when I went out this morning.
Yeah, they'd be a little snug, I think. Yeah.
I saw Captain Drone did a review. He's out there where he's at. It's freezing cold, snow on the ground. He's out there flying, but he's got these really cool gloves that you could peel the finger back and just expose just the finger so you could still work your screen.
I one-upped him. I wish I could reach him now, but I bought a pair last year for winter that the fingertips they just work. You don't have to peel anything back. They're they're good for about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is fine.
They've got something in them that makes them work on smartphones and everything. They're pretty cool.
And the touchscreen on your vehicle, like if you live up here where I do, where it gets a little brisk, they're nice first thing in the morning. You can still touch.
They've been around quite a long while. When I was an engineer in another life, when I used to go out to pharmacies, I would have a touchscreen sat nav, and I'd have those because it was always cold getting in the car first thing in the morning. In the winter, and you would use that. But anyway, Mike, we brought you in because we are about to discuss the DJI FPV drone. So I think I've got some images of this. So I'm gonna bring this fella up.
I had one. If you don't have it, I have one, Keith.
I've got it. Okay. Well, I'll call this up now. Let me stop that, and we'll share this. Hopefully, let me find you. There you go. In theory, that should be it. So here it is. This is here the what has been leaked. There's a few other images I can. Hang on. I
found one that's again. You got one? If not, I'll pull this one up.
Well, this is the one that's been that's been majorly leaked. Here you go.
That one?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So it would appear that DJI are working on an FPV drone. They've had this FPV kit out for a while, which is a digital FPV kit. And if you know anything about FPV drones, the one complaint by a lot of people is that when you're using the goggles, it's an analog signal, so you can get a lot of interference and breakup. Whereas these digital goggles largely eliminate that and give you a much better image. Now, there's a lot of people talking about this, and I think this is real. I mean, are we all in agreement that this is real?
This is legit.
Yeah.
It's
real.
Yeah.
We've seen the fake stuff, and you and Ash are really good at calling it out. This looks totally legit.
To me, it's very much real. It hasn't appeared on the FCC database yet, but I think it's imminent. I think that it's going to release next month, and it's not going to be this month. But
rumor is January. Rumor is January.
Yeah, that's what I think. Next month, and the rumor is it's going to be about $1,500. Now,
US.
People are going, "Oh, this is ridiculously expensive." Blah blah blah. But look, the thing that they're not. I think the $1,500 is not the drone. I think it's the combo kit.
Well, it's the goggles. It's the technology of the goggles and the receiver and such. It's a big part of it, in my opinion, too.
Exactly, which then would make the drone about $600. Sorry, Mike. Go on.
No, you're right. That's about right. The goggles are right around $500, I think, and DJI has their own controller, but this is not it. This controller that they're coming out with this combo is a new controller, but DJI does sell a combo set with the goggles, the controller, and the camera, and that's right around $900. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think that the drone itself is around $600.
The cool thing about this drone is, I'm sorry, did I jump ahead? You're right.
No, go on.
You guys are right. The price point, that was my guess, just without even thinking as hard as you guys did. Right around $1,500 US is where it's going to be. But the controller is cool. The controller.
Hang on.
We're droning on, right?
Yeah, Ash has just made a really good point. Sorry. You may find that it doesn't appear on the FCC database if it's using the regular existing DJI FPV modules, which he could be correct on if it is.
It could already be technically registered, yes.
The other thing I have, or the other argument I have for the people that are saying this is going to be really expensive is these are the already out there goggles which you can use with any drone, FPV drone that has the DJI module in it. So yes, it's going to be an expensive cost up front, but it's not as expensive as you think it is. Does that make any sense? The drone's going to be on the pricey side. It's DJI, of course it is.
It's like Apple. DJI is like Apple.
Yeah.
Their drones are ready to fly. You take it out of the box. There's no if you don't want it. Okay, I know the hardcore FPV guys will be like, "What are you doing?" This is like you got to build it yourself, and I get that. But for someone like me personally, it's like, okay, I buy this thing, I take it out of the box, I charge it up, and now I'm FPV. And then since I have personally coming from a Mavic, I have interest in cinematic stuff. So to kind of slide over to cinematic FPV is very interesting to me. That's what has me almost hooked because Keith, I think you're in the same boat as me as far as
the minute I saw this, I mean, Ash put out a video this week, and I kind of when Ash puts a video out, I tend to say, okay, if he's putting a video out, I think it's real. And I just went, and I watched it again. This is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
I mean,
yeah.
I've had a plan. I've had a video in my head and a plan for a while, and I've just been waiting for some funds to become available. But I was going to buy one of these cheap FPV all-in-one kits. There's a couple out there. There's one for about the $200 to $300 mark, where it gives you a cheap pair of goggles, a tiny little Whoop drone, and a controller. And I was going to learn FPV because the thing that I'm really interested in is the cinematic FPV side of it. It's what you can capture. And there's guys like Dobo out there that have been doing it recently.
He is a master of this cinematic. Yep.
Amazing footage. And I'm thinking, this could be cool.
Yeah, no, Ash brings up a good point about the fear of repair costs, and I don't know, it doesn't look very modular. So I mean, like an FPV drone typically can repair easily. This does look to have sensors though. If you look down on the left and right, just below the camera, you'll see what appears to maybe be obstacle avoidance.
Well, let me tell you what I think on this. I think that this is going to give you an FPV like experience.
Right.
So because I don't see that thing crashing into the ground at 70 miles an hour or crashing into a tree at 40 miles an hour. How's that thing going to survive? And it's going to be so expensive to fix it. It's not made to be worked on. So like Ash said, price is going to be a concern because you're going to crash it. Well, I don't think it's going to be easy to crash. I don't think DJI is going to make an easy to crash drone. I think they're going to give you an FPV like experience, but I think it's going to have some type of positioning hold. It's got GPS. We've seen specs on it, so it has GPS, and it sure looks like those are sensors in the front.
Yeah, it does.
Those look like
I agree.
Optical sensors, So I think you're going to get an FPV-like experience, but I think the drone is going to have ways of saving itself.
It's a hybrid. It's basically a hybrid. It's the love child of the Phantom and the Cinewoop.
Cinewoop and an Inspire.
It does have a lot of. Doesn't it look like an Inspire, like a baby Inspire?
It does look like a baby Inspire.
Yeah, it really does. It's super cool. Mrs. Claus, I don't think she's handed right for Christmas this year, but
I think you're right that it is I think you're right in the fact that it is a hybrid. But if it enables you to get that FPV cinematic style of shot, and if it allows you to do dives down sort of mountainsides and things like that, then fine. I don't mind that it's a hybrid thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing FPV pilots. You are incredibly talented people, and it looks amazing fun. But the reason I'm mainly interested in this is the creative side. If I can even get one shot where, you see these guys where they're flying their FPV drones and they're circling cars as they're doing rally style turns around a corner. I mean, it's an amazing piloting skills, but it's the potential of those shots that you can get that this has got me so excited. And honestly, if it's 1,500 quid, fine, screw it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy this. I mean,
yeah.
Look, it's not going to be more expensive than the Mavic 2 Pro. So, I mean, you know, if we spend that kind of money on a Mavic 2 Pro.
Yeah, Ash brings up another good point about the latency of the sensors and such. And yeah, but still, I think this device, this drone is going to be, it's going to allow guys like Keith and me to fly like a bird, kind of, and we're not going to be flying at ridiculous speed, like ludicrous speed. We're going to be flying in a manner where, by the way, that gimbal looks like it pivots up and down. I mean, it looks like a one-axis gimbal.
It does.
You know, that's what a lot of people have been saying, because as the drone goes into speed, obviously the camera on a fixed one will dip down, whereas this is going to go like that, so it's going to level. That's what they're implying, and that's certainly what it looks like. But I mean, there's a couple of people have pointed out the engines on here, they are much bigger than your Mavic affair. Those are beefy little things, so it's going to be capable of some speed. This is going to be more likely to crash. You know, there's been a lot of comments on the boards about, God, I'd love to see the DJI Care refresh on this.
That's what I was just wondering. How much is it going to be?
There you go.
I suspect it's going to be high, but I also know that DJI, look, for all of their faults, and there are many, they are not a stupid company. They are you know, this thing, they're building this drone, people are going to crash it. So there's going to be some thing. Now, Ash is saying, and he could be correct, that, you know, it might be really expensive to fix, and it might be. But I suspect that, I don't know, maybe you'll have to buy DJI Care refresh. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I'm really, really excited by this. I can't lie, and I know there's a lot to be, you know, wary about. But it's an FPV cinematic drone from DJI. Come on, it's going to be cool.
Well, Ash, actually, I popped it up too soon, but this makes sense. Where the gimbal is manually controllable from the ground, so that I'm guessing that's what you can do. That's probably what Ash is saying. So it's not going to move up and down during flight on its own, but I'll bet you it's manual. So if you do a building dive or something, you could, in theory, just like, well, look at the controller. The controller looks like an Xbox or a PlayStation controller. I mean, it has that look and feel to it, you know, like a video game. And then it looks like maybe a phone goes in up top. I don't know if you can see like the very tippy top there.
Oh yeah, kind of like
doesn't it look like the Mavic Air 2 and the
Mavic Air 2
the Mini 2? It just, so that just really has my head, like the gears turning, thinking, what is that? I've seen some pictures,
and that is the antenna that pops out. It does have an antenna that pops out. Whether or not it holds the phone or not, I don't know. But there is an antenna that comes out. I just wonder. That's one thing. But the controller does look like like that kind of controller. And then if you can pivot the camera up and down while you're flying, then that's just another element that you don't have with traditional FPV, which is pretty cool. So that's why I feel it's like a hybrid.
Yeah, Ash is saying it's going to be amazing. I agree with you. He says, yeah, the upper part is for a tenner only. We might be being joined by someone else who I think got confused with the time that the stream was on. But he says he's coming, so we'll let him come on and have his 2 pennies worth.
I have no deadline. I can run over if need be. Just saying.
I hear it. Right. I'm going to introduce this guy because I'm going to tell a story before I bring him in, because this guy blows me away. I recently had the course to go to my wife had a hospital appointment, and it's one of these ones where you have to sit there for hours on end waiting to be seen. So I was sitting there, and as I do, I watch YouTube, and then the worst thing in the world happened. YouTube went down worldwide. It just went down.
We were chatting when that happened.
Yeah,
we were chatting when that happened.
It was down. It was down for about an hour, and then it came back up. And this guy here, he was on the ball, live stream straight up, talking about it. And we were chatting for half an hour, and I'm thinking, you know, he's handling all the comments, and he was doing it really, really well. And I'm extremely jealous how good he was. And then the kid pulls out a violin, and starts playing a violin amazingly well. I mean, you know, and to cop it all. And to make things even worse, he's 13.
Worse. Oh, this kid has a future. So he's going to be YouTube. Bring in Dr. YouTube.
I'm bringing him. I love his channel. He's amazing. Henry, say hello, buddy. How you doing?
Hi. Sorry I'm late. I thought it was I thought it was PM, not AM.
Don't worry about it, buddy. Don't worry about it, buddy. You're all good.
All good, man. Good.
You're forgiven. Do you want to give your Mike? We'll let you do it as well in a sec because I forgot to ask you to do this as well. Henry, do you want to plug your channel quickly, just to say who you are?
Hello, my name is Henry Robotic. I do drone videos, mostly drone leak videos, but I also do GoPro videos. I review whatever I can, and I love drones.
And Mike, do you want to mention your YouTube channel as well, buddy?
Sure. Yeah, you can find my YouTube channel. It's under Mike Miller. And when you search Mike Miller, you're going to find 1,000 of them because there's, I guess, a basketball player with the same name. So there's a lot of channels. But I'm in Martinez, California. So if you search Mike Miller and Martinez, you'll find me, and you're going to find a lot of ship videos. I like to shoot boats. I like to shoot ships. I've got a major thoroughfare through here where I've got ships that come by near my house all the time. So I'm constantly filming the boats go by. And that's what I was out doing this morning, hoping I'd catch something at sunrise. But all I caught, I think, maybe is a cold.
You know what? I think here's Mike's channel right here. In case you guys were wondering, that's what his icon looks like if you're looking to find him.
You know what that is? You see my little avatar there?
I thought it was fire. Is it the?
Looks not like the fire, doesn't it?
Yeah. What is it?
It's actually the sunrise behind a cloud of steam over the refinery.
You can see it. Oh, wow. Isn't it that same shot right up above where you're looking through that? Something similar to that. You're looking through like the steam, but with the sun. Yeah, the sun.
Yeah, you can see the far shot where I took a picture of the bridge there. You see the steam coming up and the sun over there. So I've got the sun rising, and I just lined my drone up so I caught the sun behind this cloud of steam. And yeah, when I first posted it, I posted it on Facebook. Oh, the uproar! Everybody was up in arms and mad and pissed off at the refineries because how could they allow this to happen? Like, well, it's kind of hard for them to stop the sun from rising. that's all it is, just the sun behind some steam.
And then for just to be fair here, I have Henry's channel, I think, ready to go too. So let's share that. Here's Henry's channel.
Yeah. There's not much to say on here. I have a long backstory as to why I have Team 2495X all over my channel. It has to do with why I started the channel, and it was because I actually started the channel for robotics. I was on a private team that was called Team 2495X. I started it with a bunch of my friends, and I'm the only person who does the channel now. So now I do drone videos on there instead of robotics.
I think that's a good segue, man. Oh, sorry, I talked over Mike.
I was just asking if you still do robotics.
Me too. I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, I still do it. This time I'm on a my school team instead of a private team, so my school pays for everything instead of my friends and me. So
cool.
That's better.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool stuff. There's not much. So they're in the same kind of. Well, they're in a similar classification, robotics and autonomous stuff like drones. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's all controlled, man. It's cool.
So So I was going to get your view on this DJI drone, but before I go into that, Henry, you've been into robotics and stuff. You must have an interest in this Sony drone that's coming because they're talking about AI stuff on that, and that does sound interesting. Yeah.
Of course. It sounds really interesting. When I saw when I saw someone put it in the chat for Discord, I immediately I immediately checked out everything on it because it sounds super interesting. The fact that Sony, the company that makes all the sensors for all cameras, most all cameras, is making a drone with AI. That sounds great. I'm really hoping they actually bring something to the game because all competition is good competition for DJI, if you know what I mean.
No, I agree with you completely.
DJI needs they need somebody to make them work harder.
I'm just gonna share a comment from Ash because he said, Henry, have you ever seen Robot Wars on TV? Do you know what that is?
Yes, actually, I watched the American version of that. It's called BattleBots.
BattleBots.
Yeah, this is the American version.
I remember that.
Basically.
That was I could take you back a billion years, like when I was a senior in my mechanical engineering college days. That was our challenge in design. Was we had a RoboBots kind of contest. It was a tug of war, basically. So,
we had a,
and the reason I mention that is because my team was we were the victors. We defeated all.
Hey, good job.
We had a version of it, a British version of it, and it was very British. It was all these guys out of their back sheds, mostly from Birmingham. That's a joke. It was presented by a guy called Craig Childs, who was Lister from Red Dwarf, which is one of the funniest British sci-fi comedy shows. If you've never seen it, watch it. Are you old enough yet, Henry? Yeah, you are. You're more mature than I am, so you'll watch it. But
you see what we keep calling out Ash. I can't help it, but he's right on top of stuff. He noted that Sony's been up to something. They'll follow videos and
yeah.
I had looked right before this comment. I didn't see anything fresh. I must have missed it. But I was,
we'll have to have another look and bring it up on the next stream. Robot Wars was cool. And I always wanted to do something there, but I was a kid and never got around to it. And then it came back again on British TV again with a different presenter, another funny guy actually. But I think it's gone again and it's not coming back again, which is a shame because I loved it. Anyway, Henry, we were talking about the DJI FPV drone. I'm not going to lie, I'm buying it. Don't care how much it costs. I'm buying it. I have my money. But what's your first impressions?
I would buy it if I had the money, honestly. To be honest with you, I feel like it caters to a small and new market. It's people who are flying DJI drones and want to get into FPV drones, because obviously if you already fly an FPV drone, you're not gonna want to buy this new DJI FPV drone. But yeah, I mean, it's I think it's making a whole new market instead of like DJI going into the FPV market. I think it's a new type of drone. It's a new DJI FPV drone, if that makes any sense. Like there's three types of drones. There's FPV, the normal DJI drones, and then there's a DJI FPV drone. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think it's going to be different.
I don't know.
Talk amongst yourselves a minute. I'm just sorting something out.
I know what Keith's up to, and yeah, we were talking about a little earlier, Henry. This thing is going to be like a hybrid. So your market, what you feel their market strategy is what I think as well. It's not going to take a FPV guy to DJI. It's going to take DJI pilots to FPV with this device. This drone is. That's why I'm so hot for this thing.
Exactly.
It's going to cross me over. Yeah, I don't have to build it. I mean, not that I don't like building stuff. I actually prefer breaking stuff. Than I used to build it, then break it, then rebuild it. Now I'm more into buying it, then breaking it, then rebuilding it. So this is perfect for me. This is good.
Yeah, exactly. I was.
Rebuild it.
Yeah.
The question is if you could rebuild it. I mean, I look at this thing
I
and
can
the
fix
body
anything.
on it.
Who you kidding? I can fix anything.
This thing does not look like it was made to be worked on, though. You know, I mean, if you look at the rear legs on it, you can see that it's got a couple of screws there. It looks like you might be able to take it apart, but the front legs, I don't see any of that. I don't see it coming apart on the front legs. And when you crash, you know, those are going to be the first ones to break.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's like an assembly. Looks like an assembly.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting looking kit. I tell you, when I started, I am a total beginner when it comes to FPV, but taking somebody's advice, the first thing I did is I started on the Sims. So what I did is I bought a good radio, a radio that I hoped was going to be the radio that's going to take me through my whole FPV journey. I got a Radio Master TSX16 or something like that. It's a brand new radio. It just came out. It's a really good radio. Then after getting that, you know, I started doing the Sims, and then now I see everybody's getting digital, and now I'm like, I haven't taken that next step. I do have, like Keith said, I did get one of those kits, the all-in-one goggle. It got the tiny hawk and the goggles and the controller and all that, and threw that a bunch. But now I've just been hesitating on going any further because the digital's just taking over the hobby. You know, everybody wants that. So yeah, am I going to buy it? Probably, because now it has all that. It has the goggles, which once you get those, you know, you could get digital drones for $200. You know, so once you've got that, you're set.
Yep.
Uncomfortable silence. Come on.
No, it's not uncomfortable silence. I'm processing all of this. This is just.
Ash is commenting so much. I was like, Ash, do you just want to jump into the stream?
Yeah.
I'll send you a link on Discord.
Why isn't he on here?
You're like Canadian Drone Hub and bring them in.
There you go.
It's a party.
Yeah.
I wish I had something. You know, my glass says beer is my friend, but there's no beer in this glass. It's just water. Sad.
Hang on, deputy host, take over for a minute.
Deputy host.
Yeah, that would be you, Chuck.
Well, we ran out of topics. We burned up the FPV thing, but I kind of want to go back to Henry's robotics thing. That's where I never picked up on the name before. Henry Robotic. I wonder what the connection is now. Now I know. It's like, yeah, it's like the light bulb came on, man.
Yeah,
Henry, are you FPV?
I'm not currently doing FPV, but I really want to get into it. And
it seems like
that would be
from robotics to FPV seems like an easy segue to me.
Yeah,
You'd really be good at building the drones if you've already been into robotics. You should be a natural at it.
I should, yeah. It's just
more about the controls. I think Henry would agree that with robotics and all these things require a control system, and that's what robotics is.
Same with an FPV.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know? And then you could
depends
crash
how
it,
autonomous
and then
it
you could
is.
rebuild it.
And over and over
and
he
over.
Just needs the money. So anybody who hasn't subscribed to Henry's channel, for God's sake, subscribe already.
I mean, I know that the FPV purists who like to build their own drones and like to mod their own drones and everything are gonna not be fans of this DJI thing, but I'm excited about this because I'm no good at soldering stuff. I mean, I can take things apart. I've fixed iPhones and stuff. I was forced into fixing my old boss's kids' iPhones every other week because they were constantly smashing them up. So I was constantly fixing the screens and stuff, but I wouldn't know where to start with these FPV drones. I'm not interested in putting them together. I don't have enough time to deal with that. So for me, this is exciting because I can buy the drone and just fly it. And there's no, oh God, you know, definitely. I've got to change a wire. I've got to program it to do something else. It's going to be set up and ready to fly for me. And that's the thing that I'm excited about.
Agree 100%. It's the same for me. It's just, it's ready to fly, ready to go. I can pull it out of the bag and throw it in the air and get the stuff I want to get. I can see Mike flying around ships with this thing. I'll be flying around bridges because that's I have this thing about bridges for some reason, don't know why. And Keith will be flying around the mountains of Thailand.
Yes, I had quite a trip this week.
I am waiting for the video, man.
Yeah, I haven't got round to it yet because I had a bit of a. I've been quite unwell actually the last few days. I mean, today I haven't been feeling amazing, but thankfully it's not the beer bug. We won't mention the actual name of it because YouTube doesn't like you to say it a lot. But there was a bit of a scare earlier on in the week. I mean, where I live is meant to be beer bug free, but it would appear in the last few weeks a few people have sneaked across the border and got onto flights and flown around the country, and yeah, they were all infected.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I had to have a test this week, which was not pleasant. But
Find any brains up
hang
there?
on,
Negative.
hang on,
Find any brains?
Hang on, I've got to do something here. Hang on. All hail the king.
There he is.
We're not
Hey,
worthy.
we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Oh, look at
Hello,
look at
hello,
this
young
guy.
man.
Ellis, you can say hello. Ellis, do you like drones?
No.
No, no.
No.
Oh,
But you must like Batman.
He
He's a
likes cars
comedian.
and trains. And who do you like? Who are you
And
wearing? What's that logo on your top?
Batman.
Batman.
Yeah.
Looks like I need to do a bit more work here to get him into drones. Hey guys,
Hey.
Hey,
Hi.
Hello.
brilliant stream, and I just have to say, absolutely great seeing you guys all together and collaborating. Honestly, I'm so glad. This is the biggest benefit that's come out of the community. You guys getting together, and I'm so happy to see it. Honestly, it's really, really good.
Well, it was because of you, mate. You
Absolutely.
getting this Discord server together and bringing us all together is what's done all of this. So, you know, we're extremely grateful to you. And I'm not going to lie, this thing has changed my life. I've got buddies out of it. I mean, me and Chuck talk every living day, yeah, it's been amazing. Hello, young man. Are you Batman?
No. He's gone a bit shy. Well, you guys are doing all the hard work, so seriously, keep up the great hard work. Unfortunately, I'm on daddy duties right now, so I can't stay. But I'd love to join in the chat, but I've got to go and make dinner. But yeah,
No, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining.
And I'll tell you what, just a point: the FPV quad. That video I put out about it was my highest rated video in years.
Yeah.
So that said to me that this potentially could be DJI's biggest selling product in years, potentially, because the last time I saw excitement like this was with the original Mavic Pro, and I haven't seen anything, and with the Osmo Pocket. So prepare for this to be very popular, even with people who are already flying FPV like me, because I can't be bothered to solder and fix and change wiring, and I just want to buy it and fly it. However, I've got a video coming out tonight about what you really need to think about if you're new to FPV and thinking of buying this, because it could be painful on your wallet, not just initially, but continually.
Yeah.
But
And
anyway,
you need a spotter. I think you need a spotter, right?
yeah, legally, yeah.
Yep.
Although there are some exceptions in UK drone law for FPV, which mean for some reason you don't. But it's all a bit bizarre. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll leave you guys to it.
Just before you go, Ash, Chuck's wife says that your son is a cutie.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Chuck's wife.
And he is.
Chuck's wife is your new
Hello,
admirer.
Alice.
She likes you.
Hello,
She just said you're really
Lori
cute.
likes you. You're
Can
in
you say,
trouble, man.
"Hello, Lori"?
I'm just kidding. Lori's frowning. My wife is sad now.
Can you say, Lori, I love you? Okay, doesn't want to. He's eating his sandwich. Priority.
He's got his priorities right.
All right,
Thanks
guys,
for
keep up the
popping
good
on,
work. Brilliant.
Ash.
Cheers,
stream.
mate. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
popping on.
Say bye, Alice.
Cheers. Bye, Alice.
Yeah.
Bye.
Lori says
Cheers,
bye.
mate. Thanks. Bye. Oh, what wasn't that great? But so yeah, I think I think we're done.
Well, do we have to? I guess
have-
we have to.
No, go on.
I have
Go on,
one
Henry.
topic.
Go on.
So,
Go
I was looking at all the photos of the leaked FPV drone, and something I've noticed is we don't see a removable battery ever.
Oh,
Like Like
Good point.
The box doesn't come with any extra batteries. The guy who actually tested it doesn't have extra batteries in his bag, and we've even seen pictures of people taking the shell off and taking pictures of the shell, but we never can see where the actual battery is.
Do you think it's going to be something like the Mavic Mini, where it's got a little sort of pop at the back and you pop it out, like the Mini? Because I can't see them putting out. I can't see them putting out a drone that you can't swap the batteries over. I'd be shocked if they do that.
Of course, I'm not saying that it's going to come with a non-removable battery, but it's just sad that not only if there's the chance that they might not make a drone with a removable battery, but the FPV combo doesn't come with any extra batteries. So you're going to have to buy that on top of however much the actual drone costs.
I don't know yet. You could be right, and if you are right, I wouldn't put it past DJI. I really wouldn't. But they also are usually pretty good with their combos. So I don't know. You could be correct, and if you are, no, it's not going to stop me buying it. It's just going to cost me more money, and I'm just going to be crying as I pay. But when I get it home, I'm going to forget how much money I've spent.
I'm going to share the screen here because to follow up with what Henry's talking about. If I can find this thing, what did I do with it? Is this it? I think this is it. No, that's not it. Crud. Where did it go? Bear with me.
There has been a lot of
hang on, I've got it.
The marketing YouTubers, we should call them, they've all got it and they're testing it because there's been a few leaked pictures of a couple of them out in the wild, and it's
right here
sitting on there. What are we looking at?
What we're looking at is something Henry brought up about the size of the battery. If you look at the size of the goggles and you look at the distance of the arms past the goggles, you're thinking the drone is not much wider than your head, which means that thing is not much bigger than a Mini. So Keith, what you mentioned, the battery going in the tail section or something has some teeth to it, because that could be the case. This thing is tiny. It's tiny.
I suspect it is going to be that, but it wouldn't 100% shock me if it was a fixed battery. But I that would be a misstep.
No, it's not going to have enough flight time.
The flight time. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is an FPV drone. I don't think they get very good flight time.
No, they've
speed battery. So the speed on this thing's supposed to be 73 miles per hour.
Yeah,
and there's no way the battery's going to last more than 12 minutes. You know,
like a spark.
I think it's supposed. That's what I've heard, is that it's supposed to have a flight time of about 12 minutes. And you know, any FPVer, always has a bag full of batteries, and that's the other thing that's worried about this. It's going to have a proprietary battery, so you're going to have to buy a bunch of batteries.
Wouldn't it be something? They're not going to do it, but wouldn't it be cool if it had the mini battery in it, the Mini 2 battery?
They're not going to do it.
They never do it. If they did, it would be groundbreaking for DJI to do that.
It's a 6S.
I mean, the very fact that some of their accessories are backwards compatible with the Osmo One is mind bending for DJI. So, and the fact that you can use the Mini 1 batteries in the Mini 2, that's pretty cool. It's not, you can't do it the other way around, but you can do
compatible.
You can. It's not, the Mini 1 batteries are not the Mini 2 batteries can't go in the Mini 1.
It's forward compatible, so I meant to say not backward.
But you do make a good point, Henry. You do. I don't know. Look, this thing is going to be eye-wateringly expensive. I'm under no illusions that this isn't going to break my bank account. But I've been watching these videos for a long while and seeing these guys doing this cinematic FPV stuff, especially Ken Dobo's stuff. I mean, he blows me away with some of the stuff he's done.
Yep.
And I'm
Original
just going,
Dobo is,
I want a piece of that.
Yeah,
I want a piece of that, and I don't have time or the inclination to buy all this. Because let's face it, if you're going to do what Ken Dobo does properly, right? You're going to spend this kind of money just getting the kit ready to it's going to cost you that to get set up.
In time, even if it's not an equipment, by the time you get done dabbling,
Yeah,
you're going to have that much time invested just because time is money. Getting it
yeah,
going.
it is. Go on, Henry.
In the original leaked image, so this is the first image of the drone, the actual drone. It's all pixelated and everything. But the one thing that's not pixelated is there's something black sticking out the back. And I can't see it in any of the other pictures, so I'm thinking that might be the battery.
Could be right.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I suspect being DJI, it's not going to be a Velcro on one like your standard FPV drone. I think it's going to be
it'll be like the Mini. It'll be like the Mini at the very least, where there's a compartment for it.
Yeah,
I think it.
Yep, and latches in place, and there's no way for it to jar loose without a serious incident.
Yeah, as I said, I think it's going to be a Mavic Mini style thing, but I am excited about this. I mean, they're meant to be testing it all over Asia. I've been going because there is a guy here that has a YouTube channel nearby, and he messaged me once on my board saying, "I recognize where you're flying," and he is a big channel, and he's a Thai-based channel, but he gets DJI products to review prior. He's one of the sort of the YouTube marketers, and I know where he flies, and I've been down there a couple of times today just to see if he's around, because I'm going, I wonder if he's got it.
Hey, could be.
Because and there's no way in hell he'd let me film it, but it might be quite cool to just see. What if I know what Keith, you're flying?
You gotta capture it. That'd be talk about viral.
Oh, no, I wouldn't
catch it in the act. Catch it in the act.
No, these guys get into serious trouble. I mean, there was
but he can't stop you from catching him in the act. He can't if you just
well, but I mean, there's a guy that when the Osmo Action came out, there was a guy, I think he's in Croatia. He's called Mario Films, and he got hacked. And the persons that I will not swear about, because we don't swear on this live stream, released all of his videos early, and DJI did him for it, because it was they released. So that's why I feel so like I'd go, if he was there flying this thing, I'd go and look at it and ask questions about it, but I wouldn't risk his, because DJI are
they have the NDA, right? They have their agreement.
Yeah, the NDA is
you don't want a non-disclosure.
You don't want to mess with that.
No, I mean those guys they work hard for that. But if you caught it though, you catch it in the air, and you didn't mean to catch it, you just accidentally did.
Yeah, you're just vlogging or something, and it's flying in the background.
Yeah, that's all. And then you can put the circle around it and zoom in. Look, is this what I think it is? flying my Mavic around, and look what I saw.
But he's down there quite a bit, so I might head down again tomorrow and see if he's around, because they've got it. Because there's been, as I said, I've spotted a few pictures this week where somebody's, just like you guys have said, have taken a crafty shot, and it's like sitting on the floor there, and it's blatantly the FPV drone, because we know the rough shape of it, but it's got to be coming soon. And there's one rumor I've heard that it's not going to be released everywhere. I hope to God it gets released here, because I will be seriously annoyed if it doesn't. But
it'll find its way over.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I hope they release it everywhere. That would be a bad move by DJI.
Well, the Robo Master that they've got, which I know it's a toy, but you've been into robotics and stuff. That thing looks so cool. When I saw that thing come out, I'm a Lego. I've never grown out of Lego. I'm still into Lego, and I'm 40 odd years old, and I'm still into Lego. I've never grown out of stuff like this. And when I saw that Robo Master come out, I was like, "You build it yourself?" They haven't launched it here.
Yeah.
They have not launched it here. It's like, I want it.
No way.
I know. Yeah, no, you can't get it here. It's really annoying.
Henry, do you have one?
That thing's cool.
I don't have one, but I've been looking at one for a long time. I was hoping my school would get one, but they're still floundering about with COVID right now. Oh, sorry, should I not?
Yeah.
Beer virus.
Mike, I can see have you got some released pictures by any
Have you
chance?
seen this photo?
I'll call your screen up. There we go. Yeah, this is the one I saw. Yeah, look.
Yeah.
This
there
is
you go.
Drone DJ, and you can see the drone on the ground here, and the goggles, the controller. Can't see any batteries though. That's the one thing you just don't see here.
I was gonna say, yeah.
This is in Indonesia.
I was going to say that looks Asian in its landscape. It looks very similar to a place here.
Looks like a good place to FPV, I have to say.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh yeah. I mean, as if our lockdown doesn't happen, I'm going to have to take a trip down to Phuket with this thing. God, yes.
Oh my God,
My
yeah,
wife
you
would be
do.
happy
Yeah, you do.
because it'll be another trip. But it's like, darling, we're going to Phuket.
No, you need Lem as your your visual observer. So
yeah, she does that anyway. I mean, when I did that, because I did a video on my channel about 2 years ago where I worked out how to do a pullback shot using waypoints. I mean, it took me days to set this thing up, but I realized that the drone was going out of visual sight, and so I'd have then bless her was hiding over the wall in the long grass. She was crouching down in the long grass, and I've got her on a headphone in my thing going, "Can you see the drone? Is it all right? Is it all right?" She's going, "Yes, darling, it's fine. It's fine.
Nice.
It's fine. It's fine."
Nice. Yep.
Bless her. She does suffer my hobby, but then she gets to go places, so it's win-win. But
Lori picks the places we go, and then I just figure out how to fly there. But, yeah.
But I realise that this is going to cost me a brand new sofa. So it's not just going to be the cost of the drone that's going to be involved. It's going to cost me a new sofa and room as well. Henry, enjoy your life while you can, because believe me, when you get to my age, you have to justify these purchases to your wife.
I don't know. I disagree. I don't have to justify.
You're lucky then.
I am. Lori has embraced the fact that when I want something drone related or whatever for this hobby, she's just like, yeah, I'm not going to stop him. He's just going to do it anyway.
My wife understands that I'm going to buy it, but she does these deals with me now. It's like, okay, darling, you'll come buy your drone.
Well, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Yeah, it's like, well, you got that. You didn't really need 2 Mavic 2s. You have 2, so I want to do this to the house, or I want to whatever. Yeah.
But that looks.
Wait! Don't. Henry, it's all good, man. It's
yeah.
It's all good.
I'm joking.
He's just messing with you.
No.
But that is. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm so excited about this. I mean, I know that I played with an Osmo. I played with an Osmo Pocket 2 the other week, and I picked that up and went, "Oh, this is so much better than the first one." And I'm going to get one of those while I'm at it. But and I was excited about what I could do with that. But this thing has just got me going. I mean, to put this into perspective for you people out there, if you're a Star Wars geek and you watched the latest episode of The Mandalorian, I'm nearly as excited as I was watching that the other day. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to explain it to you. But the latest episode of The Mandalorian, if you're a Star Wars, I was crying. I was so pleased with it yesterday. It was so good. So good. Yeah. Anyway, that's a completely different topic. But I am really excited for this. I really am. Have my money, DJI, you people.
Yeah. So if Lori's still watching, I don't know if she is or not, but yep, I gotta have it. Maybe Lori wants to part with her Mavic 2 and get this instead and share it with me.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've been on for an hour and a half. Does anyone else want to say anything on this? Mike, you got anything more, mate?
No, I'm good.
Fair enough.
I'm Henry, good for now. Oh, sorry, Henry.
There will be videos on this.
We'll talk
Henry, have you got anything else to add, buddy?
Nah. I think I covered everything I wanted to.
So before we go off, I will go down in unison. Guys, I want you to plug your channels again, because this is partly why we do this.
I'm plugging you first, Keith. Plugging you first,
okay,
Keith. Well, Monkey Nut Punch, Sunday at 3:30 UK time.
I was about to do that. I am on a geeky sort of podcast. We talk about movies, Star Wars, video games, PS5s, and everything, which I still haven't gotten. Those two guys have. Not jealous much. But we're on, as Chuck said, we're on every Sunday, 3:30 UK time. So that will be 10:30 East Coast time. And how do you say Californian time, West Coast time? Well, West Coast time is like 7:30 in the morning.
Pacific Standard at the moment.
Yeah.
Pacific, PST. So it'll be 7:30 in the morning PST, and that's on a Sunday. And it's me and two of my best buddies, Gareth, who's been watching this live stream all the way through. So thank you for that.
Thanks,
and commenting
Gareth.
as well.
Thanks, man.
So yes, we will be live tomorrow, 3:30, where we will be talking about the latest episode of The Mandalorian. Because
I'm gonna have to start watching this. I have not. I want to hide. I haven't watched it.
Mate,
it's pretty good.
This is what Disney should. The guys that are behind this, they should have been in charge from the start. And it's so good, good last night.
Okay, I fear I'm going to get addicted, but I'm going to check it out.
For a made-for-TV show, it's got some really good special effects. Not last show, but the show before, when the ship crashed into the water, that was awesome. Yeah. That was so awesome.
There's so many great parts of The Mandalorian. It's just my whole family sits down to watch it.
It's so good yesterday. Anyway, Chuck, do you plug your channel again, buddy?
Here's my channel, Covaction Dronography. It's a lot to say. I've heard it pronounced many different ways. The Canadian Drone Hub really butchers it pretty bad. It's Covacation or whatever the hell they say. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of cinematic stuff. I need to get out more and do even more. I love I get the drone up a lot. Try to get some nice cinematic shots from wherever I'm traveling, and then the pocket gets me the ground shots and put it all together and make some pretty fun stuff to watch. So swing on by, and feel free to subscribe if you like what I'm doing and see what I come up with next.
But you got to do it because Chuck. I still think Chuck has. He should be a stunt person or a movie star. It's just the name. Every time I hear his name, I hear the movie trailer guy. Chuck Kovac is. You've got a movie star name, dude. You really do.
I missed my calling.
But check out Chuck's channel because I love it. It's really cool. And thanks. And next up we have Mike's channel. Mike, plug your channel.
Yeah, there's my channel. Yeah, like I said, I got a lot of ship videos, a lot of boat videos. I just love flying ships. It's an art, I think. I got some bridges in there too. I got a really cool. If you want to see something really cool, check out this video. I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward to this. These guys. This is the Bay Bridge. It's a new bridge. That was
I love this video.
Years ago. Yeah, and I caught these guys walking all the way up the cable.
Wow! Oh wow! Where was that?
This is the Bay Bridge, San Francisco. Bay Bridge.
So you can do that. You can do that on the Bay Bridge, can you?
Yeah, there's a cable. This is a new bridge. This is the new bridge that they just finished building just a few years ago. So the firemen are doing some training here. If you look, you'll see that you got a couple of firemen, got a couple of Caltrans people in front, a couple of Caltrans people behind, but all the people in the middle are fire department, and they're teaching them how to climb all the way up to the top up here. So
there's another video out there, Mike, where they show the guys actually up close. They have a GoPro and they show they have to move the cable stays, like their D-rings. They have to shift them from cable stay to cable stay.
You see them doing that. They take off one, reclip it, take off the other, reclip it.
Yep, because there's redundancy.
I did something that's higher than I did Sydney Harbour Bridge, something like
there it is right there.
But that's I think that's higher than Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Look, everybody's looking at the drone.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah.
Oh,
they're all waving.
I don't do heights very well. I unfortunately inherited my father's vertigo, but I did Sydney Harbour Bridge mainly because my grandmother is the oldest person to do it. unaided. My grandmother climbed up the ladders and the steps at the age of 89 and went over Sydney Harbour Bridge. And she is,
way, that's
so
awesome.
far as I know, still the oldest person to do it unaided. And I wanted to do what she had done, and there were bits where I nearly froze because you go up these ladders and you're hovering over the top of the water and you're just looking straight down for 200 feet. It's like not looking down, not looking down. But that looks awesome as well. And as much as I'm scared of heights, I'd love to do it.
Mike, those are great shots, man. Those are really, really good shots. And
right, hang on, Henry. I will bring up yours, buddy.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
Give me a second.
It's all good.
There we go. Right, hang on. There we go. And this is Henry's channel.
Yep. So on my channel, I have a lot of review videos that are probably still relevant. I mean, the leak stuff is not relevant as the drone's already out, but I have a lot of leak videos that are relevant to the FPV drone. I do have a lot of review videos of the drones and cameras that I do have, so you should go watch those. And yeah, I try to do live streams at least every week or so. So yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah, and it's a good channel. I noticed that lovely new laptop of yours you've got there. I was suitably jealous, especially with the lights. The lights are cool.
I have it right here. Yeah. So.
I thought
Republic of Gamers. That's the heart and soul of my built up tower here with the 3080 inside now. Yay, 3080.
Wow. Yeah.
Yay.
And I liked your you've got a Hero 9, haven't you?
Yeah, and it's great, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was still toying with the idea of that. I've got a Hero 7 and I'm really impressed with the image stabilization on that. And that's what I think they're going to put into this FPV drone, which again, really cool. But we'll save that for until we get it. You're on my channel today. We're going to be swapping this between mine and Chuck's channel, but I'm Keith and this is my channel, The K-Spot. I do similar videos to these guys. I do drone videos, drone news videos. I do the odd videos when I have the time about drone leaks and stuff. So I'm kind of a mix of all three of your channels, I think. I've got hopefully a video coming out soon where I did a tour in the north of Thailand, and I went to some more of the remote areas just outside of Chiang Mai where it's mountainous, and it was really cool, and I got some awesome scenery. And I nearly froze my parts of my anatomy off. Well, it certainly felt like it. It wasn't that cold apparently according to these guys, but it was.
It's all relative. It's all relative.
Everything is relative.
I was gonna tell you, Keith, earlier. We got on other stuff, but even here in New York State, when we switch from winter mode to summer mode, it's brief. We have like maybe 3 months of summer, 4, and it still hurts when the weather turns cold again. I was out walking; it was 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what in Celsius. I froze my tail off yesterday walking at lunch hour. So
where we live. Actually, this morning is the coldest I've ever known. It was 19 here this morning. I have one jumper. One. I don't need it because it's like
you need me to send 19.
I think I'm going to have to get more, I think, because, I mean, most of the time it's 30-5 here because we're not that far from Bangkok, and it gets hot. I mean, the hottest I've recorded here was 39, and that was earlier on in the year. It's usually quite hot here, but 12 degrees was a shock to the system. That's
54 degrees Fahrenheit, though.
It was cold.
Yeah,
well, it's all relative, I guess.
Here in California, it doesn't get very cold. I mean, right now it's particularly cold for California. It's 47 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 8 degrees Celsius. I don't know. It's supposed to be 70 degrees Fahrenheit today.
Where are you at, Henry?
I'm in near the Orange County area of California, so Irvine-ish. Yeah.
You guys are 8 hours apart then.
Yeah. I think the hottest I've ever seen here is like 120 degrees Fahrenheit. It was really hot.
Yeah.
At one time.
We had 40 in Hoi Hin. It's across the other side of the Gulf of Thailand, and that was last year, and that's the hottest I've ever known it. Our car was even complaining with that temperature. But anyway, we're all becoming very British and talking about the weather. But guys, I really appreciate you all joining us. This was why Chuck and I started this. It was always our plan to get you guys on, so I'm glad that you all turned up. It's been really nice having you on there. No, yeah, mate, really. It's our privilege. As if you've been watching the stream all the way through, then you know this. But if you haven't, we're all members of the Droning On fan club, I think, if you like, which is our buddy Ash's channel. It's a great channel, but he's brought us all together on this Discord server. So we have this Discord server which we're always talking on, sharing tips and advice and generally just chatting about all sorts of stuff. If you're into anything like that, or you're starting out a YouTube channel, you could do a lot worse than joining up for this. It's not a lot of money, and then you get access to this Discord server and all us guys, and we all help each other out, and it's really worth it, in my opinion, because I've met all these guys. I've got into a community. My YouTube channel has benefited from it, as all these guys. It's just been worth it.
Oh yeah,
and I can't sing its praises enough. So if you're out there, I highly suggest you joining up, and then you can chat to us guys in the background.
Yeah, but it's anyway, really funny. The Discord channel is a riot.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great.
Subscribe up to his channel. You can click on membership and join. Well, yours will say join, not membership. It'll say join.
But Ash is a really experienced YouTuber. You can see how many subs he's got, and he gives lots of really helpful advice and stuff. It's
indeed.
And it brings you together, and I never would have met these guys without this, and I never would have been able to do live streaming about stuff that I'm really passionate about. And I'm really passionate about flying drones and stuff, and unfortunately most of my mates are not. But now you guys are all into the same thing. I get to geek out about drones, so it's totally worth it for me. And I'm just really glad that you guys have joined us today. So thanks very much. This has been the 2K Drones live stream. We are live usually every fortnight, which for translating into America, that's every 2 weeks.
That's right.
And
I'm learning my British.
We're going to have it. Yes. I didn't realize that fortnight didn't translate across the pond, but yes, it's every fortnight or every 2 weeks. The next one's going to be on December the 19th, which is going to be our holiday special for you Americans and Christmas special for the rest of the world. Sorry, I think
we can say Christmas too, but we'll have to pick up Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and a few other things too. All-inclusive, the all-inclusive holiday special.
And we'll probably get you guys on again. So, but yes, anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. Do you want to say bye?
Peace.
See you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.
Thanks, guys.
Catch us in 2 weeks or a fortnight, whatever works for you.
Like and subscribe. And if you're not subscribed to these guys' channels, go and do it now. We're waiting. Go on, do it.
Wait.
Do it. I can't keep that one up. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.